Hiya, fellas. It's story time. And if you want to see more stories from my childhood, then make sure to like this video. If I get the 10 whole likes, then I'll make another one. I have such low standards. Please, let me make content. But in all seriousness, it's time for a story. A story of a shark and a boy. Some would even say, a love story. Not even close. So, when I was 10, my parents took me on a surprise vacation. They didn't tell me where we were going, they just had me get in the back of the car and said we'd be in there for 13 hours. Nowadays, we call that kidnapping. But in all seriousness, it was awesome. They give me a clue every hour of where we were going. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I have a pretty good sense of direction. I mean, one time I went on a 10-mile bike ride and only got turned around enough to turn it into 21 miles. But anyways, it took me 7 hours with some pretty obvious clues to catch on. We were going to Florida. More specifically, to the beach.
Well, actually, Florida's on the Atlantic Ocean.
Please, let me make content. Now, keep in mind, this was me and my dad's first time at the ocean. So we were pretty ecstatic. As soon as we got there, we threw our stuff down in the hotel, changed into our trunks, and went straight to the beach. Since I was new to the ocean though, I didn't exactly know how deep is too deep. So long story short, I ended up with water up to my neck, waves pummeling my little boy head, and fish jumping right in front of me. Now, these fish looked scared. Like, I mean full-on almost a month-long government shutdown scared. So, I started to get pretty nervous. I turned to my dad and was like, "Do you think a shark's chasing the fish?" Being the big macho man he was, he went,
"Probably dolphins."
About this time, we looked over at the lifeguard stand and saw that the lifeguard was flipping out. Like, I mean full-on whistle blowing, flags waving, screaming at us. Now, I'm a Midwesterner, so that anytime someone reacts like that in my neck of the woods is when there's a tornado and they're cheering for it to eat their homework. So with one look to the sky, we saw it was clear, so we did the only logical thing and ignored him. About this time though, my dad and me finally went a little shallower because I looked like a petrified bobber. And then about an hour later, we went back to the hotel. Come to find out from a couple there, apparently there had been a 10-foot Shortfin Mako Shark in the water. Yeah, you know, the shark that can reach up to 43 miles per hour. You know, I'm glad I didn't get ate. But at the same time, I feel kind of stood up. I've always prided myself on my flavor. So the moral of the story is if your parents ever take you on a random 13-hour car trip, make sure you wear cologne, or a shark might not eat you. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then make sure to like and subscribe. If this video gets 2 whole likes, then I'll tell the story of how I fell off a waterfall. Please, let me make content.